Hey everyone, OT Life Hacker here. Occupational therapy and mental health is what we'll be covering right now. So let's get into it. As you know, occupational therapy can be in many different settings, and mental health is a very important one. Many times when people think of occupational therapy, they think jobs. You give jobs? Um, Yes, we help with that, but it is much more than that. And so, as you can imagine, how do you even get to being able to get a job? If you have some sort of mental health concern or challenge, say you're there can be so many different things. A person can have a lot of trouble getting to be able to go outside, to get out of bed, to be around other people, to interact with other people. There can be so many challenges, and so it's not just about getting a job. There's so much more that needs to be built up, skills to build, to be able to even get to the point of functioning, to go into writing up your application for a job, getting organized with all your documents so that you can apply for interview and get set in a job. There's so much. So again, it's not just about getting a job, having a job, but it's everything that is important to the person that is needed to be done, and activities during daily tasks can help build those skills so that you can eventually get to the point of having a job. And so those activities that are important for a person, besides sure jobs, are even just, like I said, getting out of bed can be really hard. Getting yourself motivated and feeling confident that you can make yourself breakfast, make yourself dinner, plan an outing with friends, be able to interact with friends or others. And so in occupational therapy, we help people to function, to engage in occupations, meaning tasks that people spend time in. So things that occupy their time, hence occupational therapy, occupation, that they need to and want to do. And part of occupational therapy is you help people cope with their emotions. So oftentimes it's difficult to do something for a person to do something because they may be struck by a lot of emotions and not feel that they know how to deal with those emotions. So occupational therapy can help you recognize, be aware of when you start feeling those triggers and when you start feeling those symptoms or challenges that affect you in whatever you're doing. Catch them before it gets to a breaking point. And occupational therapy helps you to cope with those stressors, those triggers, emotions that arise. They help you to self-regulate, meaning that, like I said, when you have those triggers, how can you deal with them? So it's almost like another form of coping, and being able to manage yourself, learning social interpersonal skills, how to focus on tasks and not be distracted by all of the thoughts, potentially even learn to embrace those thoughts or voices that you hear, or however fits the person best. What they want is going to be the strengths that we play on in occupational therapy. So we work with where the client is at and where they want to get to. And then education on mental illness. So I've seen several videos from people who have talked about their experiences with mental illness, and I've heard accounts as well. Uh, from all of these videos, all of these things I've heard, many times education, having awareness, kind of like having tools on your belt, knowing what to expect, to what you're dealing with your condition, can be super helpful and almost therapeutic for the individual. Imagine for yourself. I mean, even just for myself, if I come in to an appointment or I have many different things going on with me and I don't know what is going on, when I'm diagnosed with something, it helps to have some understanding of, so what can I expect with this? What is there hope? Are there ways to remedy this or to manage them? To have that full-on grasp of what I'm to be dealing with is very, it gives you a peace of mind. As well, it shows that people are invested in you. It shows that people care, are compassionate to help you understand what you're going through, and that you're, in a sense, not alone. Say, for example, your provider might offer you support groups or other resources that you can tap into to help you, to better support you with your experience and give you a potential step in a direction. And then some of the things I absolutely love about occupational therapy are many of the approaches we are so fortunate to learn about, to have, to work with, and even to learn from people with mental health conditions or any sort of challenges. There's so much to be learned from people with such diverse backgrounds and experiences. And again, going back to even yourself, say for example, you're someone who's who you have a condition, and someone labels you as, oh, it's that diabetic over there, or it's that I don't know, diseased person, weak person. It's labels that can really, really kind of cast a shadow on someone's self-confidence, self-worth, self-values. Everything that is their internal drivers can be shut down by comments that people make, labels that people put on people, because that almost seems like who you are. And especially when you're going through a tough time and trying to cope with all of these new experiences, new challenges, to add on the piece that you have to fight for showing who you are through this tough time, and that you're not what people may label you as, is really challenging. So in occupational therapy, it's wonderful to be reminded of the humanistic perspective of having those values and unconditional positive regard, meaning not judging someone and giving full acceptance for where they're at, who they are, what they want to become. And we hone in on those strengths of the person and help them to shine, help them to see where they can go, what they are so very capable of. And I mean, I personally haven't had that much experience myself in the mental health setting, besides what I've done in classes and such. But it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing just seeing what changes one can experience from, like, for example, documentaries I have watched. And I have to say, even the things we're learning in class for mental health, it doesn't just apply to people with mental health, it applies even to yourself. I mean, all of us have stressors that can take a toll on our mental health and well-being. And so stuff like this can be extremely helpful. Seeing the value in yourself, using your own coping strategies, problem solving through challenges, reminding yourself of your self-worth and all that, extremely valuable stuff. And so some things that for us going into occupational therapy, other things that you do can, again, key things, helping the person understand themselves. And so you will be doing a lot of motivational interviewing, and a lot of healthcare providers do this as well, motivational interviewing with the client to help them better understand themselves, where they're at, where they want to head to, and basically having them talk through their own self-change. And I will go into more about that in another video of motivational interviewing and how powerful that can be for someone. So I'm excited for that video to come, and I hope you are too. You also, like I said, think of how you would want to be treated. So please don't think of people with mental health as being so different from us, because everyone's human. Everyone goes through tough times and challenges, whether it be physical, mental, spiritual, all sorts of challenges that we face. A lot of what we want is what everyone else may want. We want someone who can understand us, someone who will listen to us. We want to feel like we are human, be treated as an equal to others, and have that hope, have that belief from others that we belong here, that we have worth, value in society, which all of us do. So please remember that with whomever you're working with or whomever is in your life. Always remember the value that we all hold. So if that's all you take away from this, great. That's probably the main point here. Let's see. And so much more to be talked about. We'll talk about some self-help strategies again also in another video. Oh, there's so much to talk about in mental health. So we can't talk about it all in this video because clearly we're at 13 minutes already. Don't want to make you go through all of that right now. So come back for more, guys, by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff. So if you want more on this, hit me up on YouTube, OT Lifehacker. Yep. See you later. Bye-bye.